All right, I'm back with a Merriken Knives Mobius, and this is from Kurt Merriken. And it's a front flipper, which is really not my style. However, I'm a little torn because maybe I'm a little biased because I've met Kurt and we've hung out and we've chatted in person and we've sent messages back and forth and we compared tattoos and you know, I just kind of connected with him. And here's a little bit of information. And I know that my buddy Alex, my co-host on the EDC Hour, is also friends with Kurt. So maybe I'm just biased by that in the fact that, well, I'm kind of friends with them. So I'm going to kind of overlook the front flipper aspect of this particular knife. Okay. So this is loaned in from Luck Knives, Level Up Custom Knives. Mike over there, Nav Sergeant. Now he goes by Luck Knives. He has a YouTube channel, although I don't remember the last time he did a video. And he has an Instagram. And I'll put links to both of those down below in the description. You go check him out and thank him for loaning this in. So I am filming this on a Monday, Merriken Monday, because it's a Merriken Knives, or maybe it's Magna Cut Monday, or I don't know what else you can come up with for Monday. It's silly how we come up with these names, right? Merriken Monday, Warncliffe Wednesday. This could be used for Front Flipper Friday. Everybody knows about Tonto Tuesday. Where did we come up with this stuff and why did we start that? It's kind of a silly, goofy thing we do, but we all do it. So I don't know where it came from or why we're just so kind of silly and immature about it. But because we have fun in the hobby, what are you going to do? All right, so this is the Mobius model. Front flipper only, sad to say because it's not my thing. The pocket clip looks like it's a little tight maybe, but man, this thing works great in the pocket. And you know it's going to work good if I'm saying it works good, because that's always a pet peeve for me. Can you reverse flick it? Oh man, no, not really, because I don't like that option either. But let's talk about some specs. It's 4.5 inches closed, just a hair over 8 inches at 8 1/16. 3.6 inch blade, 3.3 inch cutting edge. This is a hand rubbed satin finish on this beautiful Magna Cut chunk of steel. And the marks, the hand rubbing just came out amazing. I think it looks really good. Has his logo up there. He does hide the blade steel kind of over here on the flipper tab. So when the knife is fully open, you don't see anything. It's just clean, crisp, and sterile. You have zirconium pivot collars, zirconium backspacer, titanium clip, hardware, all the good stuff. And then vintage emerald green paper micarta. I had to look at my notes so I didn't mess that up. And I don't remember if this is material that Mike had and sent to Kurt. That I don't remember. I went back through my notes and I couldn't find it. Now I've been hearing about this build since early 2022. I'm currently filming it in March of 2024. Mike got the knife in December of 2023. So it was a 2-year build in process, give or take, right? Which is not uncommon for most any makers, especially Kurt, who has blown up in 2023 specifically. He's been on fire. He has some production knives out now, and I think they're done by Riot. Don't quote me. I haven't been able to handle one yet. So if somebody's got one and wants to loan one in, hit me up. Let's talk, because I would love to look at one of his production knives. Or 2 or 3, whatever you got. Let's talk about that. This thing, even though it's a front flipper, I really like it. It works well in the pocket and it feels amazing in the hand. Has this big cleaver style looking blade, which just appeals to me. Even though I'm not really a Wharncliffe guy, I think just the proportions and the angles on this one, I do really like. It reminds me a lot of the Leviathan that I was so honored to film several years ago, or on early one of my videos. That's like a 6-inch blade. Bigger. It's not just this style blown up. It's different, but a similar-ish blade. And I have a Merriken playlist that really only has 2 other knives in it, because this is the only 3rd Merriken knife that I have done. So, but I'll put a link to that up in the corner at the end. Go check it out. The Leviathan, awesome. And then the Phantom, I think it is, that Alex owns. Oh, again, another very special one. I think it's the only bolster lock that Kurt has ever made. Correct me if I'm wrong. That thing, that's a beautiful knife that Alex actually just got offered a pretty big chunk of change. Somebody wanting to buy it, even though he wasn't looking to sell it. So here it is with the Sharpie. I'm kind of going out of order now because I got kind of befuddled. It runs on skiff bearings. Okay. Weighs in at 3.8 ounces. Looking at my notes, I think I covered everything else. That was with the Sharpie. Since we're talking about 3.6-inch blade, how about the VC Edge interface? Very similar, exact same blade dimensions, 3.66. If I lined them up in the front here, you can see where that is. Yeah, it's at 1.5 ounces. This thing is just insane. Insane in the membrane. How about the RJ Martin Q36SS? I started talking about lead times and this one taking 2 years. Obviously, Kurt didn't work on it for 2 years solid every day, right? But like my videos, if you loan a bunch of stuff in, it might take me a couple of weeks to film your 10 knives or your 4 knives, because I have a backlog. And I've got some under this table that I need to film. Some are from Mike, some are from others. So I just kind of get into the swing. And when it's time to make yours video, then I may reach out to you and ask you some questions, things like that. The makers are no different. They've got book orders and they don't just do one and then the other and then the other and then the other. I mean, they kind of do, but they're also doing some drops in between. They're doing other things because they got to bring money in. Like it's a thing. So it may take some time. I think the longest time I have heard, not from Merriken, but from a different maker, was about 7 years. I have waited, I've waited anywhere from like 3 months on the short side to, I'm still talking to Ed at Red Horse Knife Works on doing the last and final custom Hellraiser. And that's been a number of years already. And we've been bouncing ideas around, his timing, my timing, all of that. And at some point, we'll build it. Will that be in 2024? I am guessing 2025, if I have to take a guess. Okay? And this was his first custom. So he thought it fitting to make the last custom for me since I own the first custom. All right, now I'm just kind of rambling on, but it takes a while. And this was absolutely worth the wait in talking to Mike. And I have to agree. If I waited 2 years for this, give or take, I would be ecstatic because even though I'm not a front flipper guy, I absolutely love this knife. And I would own this knife because I don't own any really green knives necessarily. I do own a fixed blade from Jim Skelton that's got some green in it, but it glows in the dark, so it's different. But yeah, I would absolutely own and carry this knife. So Mike, thanks for sending this in. Kurt, thanks for being such a great guy and building such an amazing following. He has a Facebook group. I'll put a link to that down below as well if you guys are interested. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a fantastic day.